Hi, welcome to our next lesson, and that is Git and GitHub. You'll understand what version control is and why it matters. You use Git to track changes in your code. You perform basic Git operations like init, add, commit, push, and pull. You also learn how to use the GitHub CLI to authenticate and manage repositories. So, what is a version control system? A version control system helps developers track, manage, and collaborate on changes in code over time. So, this is why it matters. Keep backup copies of your code, allows collaboration across teams, enables reverting to previous versions, shows history of code development. So, when you are building your applications and your softwares, you don't just want your code to be on your local machine. You want to have them online and have them accessed via the internet. And this is where Git and GitHub comes in handy. Git and GitHub helps you create repositories. Repositories are more like containers online that are used to store your project. If you have your project on your local machine, you can easily push it to Git for safekeeping and also for team collaboration. So in this era, Git and GitHub are essential skills to help you master your front-end journey. But before we start, you need to install Git and GitHub CLI. So I'll leave a link below for you to download and install these two softwares, and that is Git and GitHub CLI. So make sure to download the Git first, and once you are done downloading the Git, make sure to download the GitHub CLI and make sure to just follow the steps to install them, just the way you install your normal softwares and programs on your OS. So let's start creating our first GitHub project and start pushing our files online. For us to start working with Git and GitHub, we need to do some few installations. So first, we need to have Git installed on our PC. For me, I already have everything installed on my PC, so I don't need to install them. But I'll leave a link for each of the installations. Just check the video descriptions and make sure you have everything installed perfectly. So the first thing you need to install is just download Git over here. Just come, if you are using Windows, click download for Windows. If you are using Mac OS, just select your operating system and have it downloaded. And once you download it, just install it just the way you install normal applications. Just double click to install it and follow the step-by-step processes to have Git installed on your PC. So once you have Git installed on your PC, then the next thing you have to do is install the GitHub CLI. So I'll leave a link for the GitHub CLI. I'll leave a link for you to install everything. Just visit, click the link, and just download for Windows over here. I think if you open it based on your OS, it will simply bring the download button for your OS so that you can install it. Just click download for Windows. If you're on Mac OS, I think they'll bring download for Mac OS so that you can just click to download it for your operating system. And once you download it, just go and install it. Make sure you have them installed. Don't just download them and leave them. Make sure you have them downloaded and installed on your PC. Once you have the Git and then the GitHub CLI installed on your PC, the next thing you want to do is just click over here. Then you can just search for CMD, your command prompt. Then you can open your command prompt. So once you have your command prompt open over here, just write git hyphen hyphen version, then press enter. So it will return the version of your Git. For you, I think your version might be later, depending on the time you are watching this video. This is my version. It doesn't mean our version must be the same. You might have a different version, a later version, and that is perfectly. So once you have this, this means that the Git is installed perfectly. But if you don't have this, it means your Git over here is not installed perfectly. Make sure you have it installed perfectly. So once you have this tested, you can just write CLS to clear everything. So the next thing we want to check is the GitHub. So put gh hyphen hyphen version, then press enter. So this will return the version of the GitHub. So this is the version of the GitHub CLI over here. So now it means it is installed perfectly. So which means all of our installations for our GitHub CLI and our Git is perfectly done. So once you have everything installed, the next thing we want to do is for you to visit GitHub. Just go online and search for GitHub. Open Google, search for GitHub, and just click GitHub, the first link over here. For me, I already have an account over here. So once you open your GitHub, you have sign up for GitHub over here. Just write your email. Just put your email over here and sign up for an account. It is completely free. Just sign up for a GitHub account. So we need GitHub online because this is where we are going to be storing our data online. So now I'm going to close this. And now I'm already logging with my account. Once you are logging, don't do anything. Just log in, sign up an account, log in, and leave it. And now just open your terminal over here once you are done creating the account. And now we want to authenticate our account. So put GH, then put auth, then you put, did I spell my auth correct? So auth, then login. So auth.login. So now you want to select the one you want to log in with. You can use your arrows to come down and up. Just select the first one, github.com, and press enter. So now I want to log in using HTTPS. So just select that one and press enter. So authenticate Git with your GitHub credentials. Just put Y. So just type Y and press enter. So now they'll ask you to log in with a browser and then paste an authentication token. So just select login with a browser and press enter. And now they'll say that first copy this one-time code. So this is the code. Just copy it. Just select it and right click and then it will copy it. And once you are done copying it, press enter to open github.com in your browser. So I'll press enter. So now I'll have GitHub open over here saying that sign in as, then I'll press continue. So now I'll paste the code over here, then I'll press continue. Then I'll scroll down, then I'll authorize GitHub. So now they'll ask you for some authentications. You can just click over here and use your already existing password to authenticate it. So look, I'll put my password. So now I'll have my password over here. Then I'll confirm everything. So now once you are done confirming, we'll have congratulations. You are all set. Your device is now connected. And now once I open, we'll have this over here. Login as, then we'll have Idris, then you have your username. For me, I was already logging, but then I want to show you how to log in since you are creating this for the first time. So now you are done logging in. Another way to check your login status is just use GH, then auth, then status, then press enter. So this will show that, okay, login, then we'll have this check over here. Then we'll have your username over here. So now I'll just use CLS to clear everything. And now the next thing I want to do is I want to configure Git over here. So now what we are doing is configuring the GitHub. So now we want to configure the Git itself. So to configure the gate, we are going to use gate. So some of these you don't need to chew them because some of these you just do it once and you don't do it again. For this login, you just do it once. You do the authentication and everything once, and we don't do it for the second time. So just put gate, then config, then we'll have hyphen hyphen, then put global, so global, then put user dot name, then open this and open these strings over here. So now you open to your GitHub account. Just open to your GitHub account. Where is my GitHub account? So open to your GitHub account, you've logged in online and look for your username. Just look for your username. So this is my username over here. This over here, that is my username. So make sure to open and copy your username. And once you copy your username, just paste it over here. So don't copy this one below. Don't copy it. No. Copy this one above. That is your GitHub username. And then once you are done copying it, then you can just press enter. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to have git config, then hyphen hyphen global again. Then I'll have user.email. Then I'll open over here. Then you write the email you use to create the GitHub account. What is the email you use to create your GitHub account? Make sure to have the email over here. So I'll write my email, Abdul Wahab. So, oh my God, Abdul Wahab. Just write your email over here. And once you are done writing your email, just press enter. So for me, I already am done with everything. I already have it configured. So I don't need to do everything again. For you, since this is your first time, write your email and press enter, just like we did before. And if nothing happens, then it is connected successfully. And once you have everything connected, you can just exit by just pressing exit. So now we have everything configured perfectly. Let's start creating our first file and syncing it online so that we'll have our data online. Isn't this amazing? to have your data online, which means that if you have your projects online, if your PC crash or your PC is affected with virus, you still have your projects and everything online stored on GitHub for you. I have this folder open, this empty folder. So what I'll go ahead then, I'll open CMD. I'll just use CMD to open this with my command prompt. And now I'll open it with VS Code and press enter. So once you open it in VS Code, don't close this prompt. Don't close the CMD. Allow it to open because this way we are going to be executing our GitHub commands. So now I'll have it open just like this. But before we start to do anything, let's just create an index.html file. Index.html file. So now I'll go inside of my index.html file. Then I'll just put this boilerplate over here. Then I'll just have an world, hello world. Then I'll save everything. So now we want to sync this file online so that we'll have it online stored on our GitHub. So now hopefully if we open, then for you, you don't have anything. So first you need to create a repository. So a repository is more like a container that stores your projects online. That's just a repository. So you see this new, just click on new or just click over here and select your repositories over here. This is your repositories. Just select this your repositories. And for me, I already have some repositories over here. Just click on new since you don't have anything. Click on new. Then you can give your repository a name. What is the name of the repository? So I can just call it, for example, just write the project name. So I'll just write this something like test gh. So test gh. Then I'll simply come over here. So you select whether it is private or it is public. So it is private, so I'll select private because I don't want anybody to access my projects. That's why I'm making it private. So now I'll click on create repository over here. So now if you come over here, we'll have nothing over here. But GitHub have already given you some lines of code you need to be copying and pasting. So first, we need to initialize Git. So I'll copy this in it over here. And then I'll come over here where I have my CMD open. That's I have the folder open where I open the whole folder containing the project. So I'll paste this Git in it to initialize my GitHub. So I will have initialized an empty GitHub repository. So once you are done initializing, so next thing we want to do is we want to add this origin. So copy this origin over here. Just copy this origin and then paste it. Git remote add origin. Then you press enter to add the origin. So now we have the origin added. So now anytime you make changes to your file, this is the file over here. Anytime you make changes to the file, you can just open the command prompt and then open the folder. That's this folder containing the file. And then you can always use git add, press enter, and make sure to have this period. Then use git commit. So git commit, then put hyphen m, then write a message over here. Oh my god, you can just write any message. So something like committing, or can I spell committing? I made a mistake and write coming. Just you can write anything over here. It doesn't matter. And press enter. So you can use git, then you can use push origin, then you can push it to the main directory. So once I push, I'll have this over here. They say fail. It means that I'm pushing to the main branch and there's no main branch. That's why I'm having this problem. So to simply search for your branch, you just use git branch. So git branch and you press enter. So this will return the branch. This is the branch, master branch, and I'm pushing to the main branch. So I can just leave it to the master branch. Let's just leave it. And then we can use git push origin master, then press enter. So now we'll have it push. And now everything is done successfully. So if I open, then I refresh this, we are going to have our index.html file over here. Isn't this amazing? So anytime we come over here and make changes, we can just push it online. So you don't need to be chewing the codes. All you need to chew is git add, git commit, and git push. That's the only three codes you are using to push. Just creating it online, connecting it using git add, git commit, and git push. So let's take it. I made some changes to my file. So let me just come over here and let me make some changes. So what are the changes? Let's create a simple a main.js file, main.js file. And inside here, I can simply use console.log. Then I open, then I'll have hello world. So hello world. So now, hopefully, if I open over here, I'm going to use my get add. Then I'm going to push period. Then I'm going to use get commit hyphen m. Then I'll just put I over here. Then I'll use git push origin, then master to push it. So now once it is pushed, then I come over here, then I refresh. We're going to have our main.js file over here. Any changes you see, it is hello world. Any changes you made, it is pushed online and it is saved online over here. You can access your files anywhere with any device at any time. So now let's try everything all over again by creating a new repository. So I'm going to create a new repository. So I'm going to create my repositories. Then I'm going to create another new repository over here. For this repository, I'm just going to call this repository new test. So new test. Then I'm going to make it private. Then I'm going to create repository. Before I start to do anything, I'll just come over here, I'll close everything. Then I'll go through my projects. Just go through the projects you've just created for these lessons and just choose any of them. For the shop mini.js project, the one we created earlier on, for the shop inventory system, I'm going to use it. So I'm going to come over here, I'll press CMD to open it online. So to open it with my CMD, I'm going to use git init since I'm initializing an empty repository over here. Once I have it initialized, I'll simply come over here. Then I'll copy this, git remote add origin. Then I'll paste this over here. Then I'll press enter. So now I'll just use git add. Then I'll use git commit. So git commit. Then I'll use git push origin. Then I'll push master. Then I'll press enter. So now it is push online, just like that. So now hopefully if I come, then I refresh everything, we are going to have our main.js file. This is the JavaScript file for this mini shop inventory system we created. Look at the codes over here. Isn't this amazing? So we are done with just Git and GitHub. So we are going to be using Git and GitHub a lot with our projects. That's when we start to create our Next.js projects. We are going to be pushing them online using Git and GitHub. So don't worry if you don't understand the commands for now. Once you start practicing and start pushing your projects online, you're going to get a hang of it later. And I can't wait to see you in our next lesson.